Alright, well, it's been a week since I uploaded the last one, but it's been 2 weeks since I last filmed, so, well, 2 weeks in one day. But it was my son's 3rd birthday party yesterday, so it was kind of hectic. I thought about the video yesterday. I was planning on doing it, but I didn't get around to it in time because I had to run him around and whatever else. So, anyway, quick shot of everything else. Still about the same, not much developing since then. And actually, to be honest, I really would rather just move along to the main focus here, a quap. So, I'm going to do an in-depth peek. Got my lilac bells, which I'll do a comparison with my hand here. That's the biggest one. That's pretty much grocery store sized. I mean, I've seen them much bigger than that at the store, but this plant has 14 peppers on it at varying stages of development, but they're all really nice looking nonetheless. Even if they'd only gotten, say, this big, that's still a really good sized pepper. Not necessarily as big as bells can get, but I'm happy with them. I'm proud of them too. Here's the Carmens. They've gotten much bigger. They're looking real nice. Nothing ripening yet on either of those fronts. Here's the giant Marconi, which, I mean, it's ludicrous and it's really firm. I'll try and, I had to stake this up, or cage it rather, because it was just too full of peppers. See if I can get in here and show you some of these. How big they've all gotten inside of here. They're all intertwined, so kind of just leaving them to their own devices. I can't do much with them. And here's the unknown sweet. I got it out of a burpee seed packet. It said it was sweet long mix. It said there's a red sweet banana and one called Corno de Toro, which is kind of what these look like according to the definition. It was like cow horn shaped, so that's kind of what these look like. They're really smooth. It's a very productive plant. It took a while for it to get going, but as you can see, here's the side branch. I might have to tie that up to the other branches a little bit so that it doesn't snap. Moving along to the next row here, we got the Tasmanian Reds. Yeah, they're pretty bombastic with their affluence here. And this one's a little bit behind, so it's still got a lot of flowers on it. I mean, this one's still flowering too. They haven't went dormant. A lot of the sweet peppers have stopped flowering, so, but these ones, I bit one the other day. I ate the whole one, and I was hanging out with my neighbor, and his son, who's just a few years younger than me, had me go and pick one for him. Not of these, but of the Ring of Fire Cayenne, and yeah, he said it was pretty damn hot. But then I kind of, to join in, I'd grabbed one of these and wolfed it down whole, and it wasn't as hot as the one I had last year, but it was still pretty hot. And the Purple Flash, I still have not seen any signs of ripening on all these peppers that are on this. There's a few hundred pods, but still no red ones, but that's alright by me. They'll ripen eventually, and they'll probably start ripening en masse. And here's Poblanos. There's a lot of them, and they're all, well, this one's pretty small, but here's one of the big friends down here, and another huge one. I actually picked one the other day on accident. It broke off, but there's quite a few of them on there. Good producer. Solid trunk on the base of this now too. So, Padrones. I don't need to show you every individual plant, but this one's quite prolific. And on the third plant over here, got some color besides green. There's 2 ripening on this plant, so I'm looking forward to trying a full-size one. This is how big they get. So yeah, I tried one 2 years ago off a plant when I grew them, and it turned out pretty small. It was good, but and here's the Peter peppers. This one is actually starting to, look at that. These are one of the craziest looking peppers, and I've heard they're pretty hot. Well, we'll see. Here's a better shot of the underbelly of the plant here. There's where all the action's happening. So that's good producer. It finally got over its little hump there. Purple jalapeno, which I'm kind of starting to suspect might be the same as Hungarian black. They look very, very similar. But unless I grow them side by side, or some research online yields that they are the same plant. Here's the ripe one. I actually picked another one off the plant a few minutes ago that I'm going to be doing a test on shortly. Here it is. So yeah, looking forward to trying that out. The Ring of Fire. Here's another one ripening. I've had 3, I think. I think that's the 3rd, maybe 4th, ripen off of this plant. Golden Cayenne. I accidentally busted one of the branches off it the other day. There's another ripening. I have a ripe one waiting for a test. And yeah, there's still lots of peppers on it. But I broke a branch off that had like, I think 4 or 5 peppers on it. So I was a little bummed out that I was careless. But now the Thai bird's eye. Now this one is really, not surprisingly, given what I know about these kinds of varieties, extremely prolific. Out of the blue, it just flowered like mad, and then next thing I know, there's a bunch of peppers that are like an inch, 2 inches long on it. Hundreds of pods. We'll see how many I get by the time the year's done. I'm pretty sure that one's coming with me through the winter based on its productivity, but we'll see how they taste too. That's another determinant. Orange Manzano is fucking ridiculous. This plant is like 3, maybe a little bit more than 3 feet wide, and probably 2.5, maybe 3 feet tall at the very tallest if I were to stretch the tallest branches upward. And then you can see it's flowering like crazy. A lot of them fall off once it gets to the pollinated stage, or what I'm guessing is the pollinated stage. They just fall off. Once the petals drop and it's got the little mini pepper, the pepperite, the pepperling. There we go. That sounds cool. Now my Tabasco. Now this one, if you look at, it's looking a lot healthier now. It's really come alive in the last week, which I'm glad for, because it was looking pretty sickly for quite some time there, about a month and a half. But it's got a lot of little flowers on it. There are even some small peppers. Let's see if I can find one that's, yeah, here we go. The tiny little pepperling. So yeah, this one's coming alive. There's a lot of mini peppers. And the same with my bird pepper now. This one has got a few pepperlings on it. There's one right down in there that's a little bit bigger. Right there. And it's starting to flower. But these ones take so long to ripen. If last year's any indication, this fucking thing is going to still be waiting to ripen into October or November. But in any case, I'm going to keep her through another year. She did good again this year. I'll try to, hopefully I can get them jump started a little bit better. I don't know. I pruned her back, so that was one of the reasons why she took so long to get going again. I think I pruned too much. Okay, so Fatales. Now we got some action happening here. There's a bunch of them on here now. There's what used to be the big, well, it still is the biggest one, but it's got a couple cousins that are catching up right nearby here. Or they would be brothers and sisters, I guess, but. So yeah. True to form, as I expected, I took the seeds directly out of the Fatale pods. Although you can't necessarily expect that, because you don't know if the people that grew them had them next to other peppers and whatnot, and they could get cross-pollinated. But now here's the Chiro Recife. This one is quite a prolific producer now that it got it going. Look at all these. They're very cool looking peppers too. Weird, almost a squash shape. They're very flat on the bottom. They do have the little indent on the blossom end, but they're fairly flat. Kind of look pumpkin-like. And here's the white butts. Starting to look more like butts now. Very soft. But the one that got me concerned that they might not be butts is this one. I know the white butt, some varieties of the white butt aren't necessarily stable. But, and the chocolate butt, flowering, but I don't think it has any actual peppers on it, or pepperlings even. Let's count how many times Carl can use that new term. I think I've said it 5 times now. Anyway, here is what I know now to be a bacatum, and the only other bacatum I grew this year that I didn't think had made it was the ahi pineapple. I got the seeds from, or I got the peppers from Andy over on the hot pepper, and he gave me I think 2 pods, maybe it was just 1. But anyway, they look very much like the lemon drops, and so when the peppers started coming in, that's when I was able to ID it. And that's the only other bacatum I had this year. So I think the yellow Bikino peat pot got mixed up with this one, because I mean this is definitely not, I knew as soon as I saw the flowers that it was a bacatum. I knew that right away. It's got the white flower. They're usually 5 petals or 6 petals. I believe it's 6 petals standard. And then they got the green centers of the flowers, so I knew it was a bacatum at that point, but I just didn't know what it was. Then when I see the peppers coming in and they look like this, and I was like, wow, these look a lot like lemon drops. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I had ahi pineapple growing this year, and I thought that I lost that one. I'm glad I did. Or I'm glad I didn't lose it. Although the fact that I lost my yellow Bikino, well, I can grow them again next year. Thanks again, Alice, for sending me those seeds, by the way. We'll give it another go next year. There's always another season. And here's the Burgett's Lokoto, which is an astounding 3+ feet tall. I think it's probably closer to 4 feet tall. But that's counting the roots. If I were to just measure the base of the stem up, it looks like it's about 1 yard or 1 meter long, tall. So, but anyway, they're really cool looking. The stems are very long and spindly. The peppers are long and thin. I'm not sure how big they get. I've never seen them before. So we'll see how they go when they start ripening. I guess I get a good gauge as to how big they are at maximum size. But look at how long the stem is on this one. It's longer than the pepper itself. So yeah, it's quite a producer. You can see dozens of pods on this one now. So yeah, definitely recommend this one to anybody looking for a more exotic variety. One of the ahi family. The big gorgeous plant, and really throws out a lot of peppers. Here's another beauty that I'm definitely looking forward to trying is the Brazilian starfish. Check out these cool pods. I knew what they looked like, but to actually see them growing on the plant is a whole completely different experience than just seeing the pictures of them. Of course, I was wowed by the shape of them when I first heard about them. And then when somebody on the hot pepper offered to send me some seeds, I was like, okay, sure. So we did a little trade ski, and there we are. And it's playing catch up now. It took a while to get going, but again, it does have a lot of peppers on it and a lot of flower buds and open flowers, so that's going to be producing for some time. Now to get to that's why you'll see it, my orientation is a little different now. I put the bacatums in this second row to keep the chinents in front because they like a little bit more sun. They really do the best in wide open sunlight. And here is the hurricane. So it's just a variation of the white habanero, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I don't know much about the variety. I got these from a gentleman over in Denmark? Yes. And or maybe, no, sorry, gentlemen in the Netherlands. I dealt with 2 gentlemen from Scandinavia or Northern Europe in a fairly short time, and sometimes I get the names mixed up. But yeah, they're very cool looking. Not much different than your garden variety habaneros, but they do turn white. So I was very excited when I saw pictures of those pods. Now here's my alleged chocolate bells, which they're pretty uniform in shape overall across the whole plant. They're definitely not bell peppers. We'll see what color they turn. This one has a little bit more blunt of an end, the lobed instead of the tapered end like this, and this one is probably the only one that looks even remotely bell, or this one. Generally though, they've been sweet. There's a lot of them. I'm excited to see how they turn out when they're ripe. If they're chocolate, cool. If not, well, I guess I still got a good pepper, hopefully. And here's the California Wonder bells, finally starting to, they got really big really fast too. There's another one. A couple down here that are looking good. And another one. So yeah, good job on that one. Now here, this sweet banana pepper. Now this thing, these have just gotten beastly in the last couple of weeks. They're all like 8 inches long now, except for very few of them. Look at this one. This one's close to a foot. I'd say probably 9-10 inches maybe. I mean, there are some smaller ones, but even still, the fact that it's supporting this, as you can see, it's pretty much done flowering. So there's one open flower left. I'm not sure if it's going to stick or if it's going to fall, but the plant is just about at capacity. And Ancient Sweet. That's another one they're all playing catch up to what used to be the big daddy over this way. Well, this still might be. Yeah, there's a lot of big ones on this plant now, and it's holding its own. Looks like it stopped budding. Yep, I don't think there's any flowers left on it. So it's at its full capacity for the year. And there you have it. Well, I'll see everybody with the test soon of the pepper. I'm trying to get to some hot sauces. I only got like 2 bottles left in my bag of tricks that I bring with me to put on my beans and whatnot at work. So I can dip into my hot sauce stash again and get you guys some videos of that. I know everybody's been wondering what kind of direction I've been going in lately with the starting the album reviews and then everything else. But thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in another 2 weeks. Hopefully on the nose this time. But never can tell what life throws your way. See ya.